Man, I don't know what's happening, but I recorded a vlog this morning, had audio, and for whatever reason, audio stopped. I can tell you my workout today, it's one of those days, man. I just I did my flies and I just apparently didn't hit record. So I did cable flies, I did shoulder presses on the cable machine, I did a cable tricep push down, which was a twist. So which if you watch the motion, your hands are coming down here and then you're twisting out. And it was a tip from a bodybuilder that I met back in the day, and he said that that will really enhance your horseshoe on the back of your triceps. Seems to work to me. I did planks and I did a knee raise of in the air, and I got one of those pads that kind of help support your back, since I didn't want to injure myself, and then we'll see how that goes. But that was my workout today. It was good. It was quick. I seemed to be focused on time, which was good. And I think it's better if I start working out like earlier in the day. Let's talk about family traditions. I think when it comes to family, I grew up in a Asian household, single mother, and we weren't very traditional. I think she tried at one point, and it just didn't work. Ever since then, I realized that Christmas and Easter and Thanksgiving and all the traditional stuff. I'm not a very traditional person, and I felt like when you're doing stuff, it's like you're doing it because you feel obligated, and that takes the fun out of it. So, in the process of growing, and then when I met my wife, we had talked about traditions and how the couples that you've dated in the past, if it's their birthday, huge deal. If it's Christmas, huge deal. If it's their anniversary, huge deal. And we decided that we're not going to do that. Like, that's I mean, we eloped because we thought, let's do what we want to do, let's not do what everybody else wants us to do. And I think that's kind of freedom. You have that relief. So, like, anniversary, we celebrate our anniversary, but we don't go all out. We don't have to go to dinner. You have to buy a gift. You have to do it. We don't do any of that. We keep it simple. Birthdays, same thing. Doesn't matter. I think it's just being together. That's what we're cherished. And then, when there's opportunities, if we're traveling or on vacation or a situation arises, we're like, hey, let's go splurge on this, or let's go out to dinner and we'll celebrate. Or, I think one year, we did a family vacation, which was my birthday, but it was like, why not? Might as well. So we kind of don't do anything that's traditional, per se, especially for the kids. I think for our daughter, 5-year-old daughter, we told her right away, Santa Claus isn't real. When you get gifts, presents, it's from us. Period. Same thing with so this came up because she lost her tooth. She lost her very first tooth, and we talked about the tooth fairy. Is it real? Is it not? And obviously, you knew that my wife was gonna give her some money, put her in a pillow, yada yada yada. So it wasn't a big deal. And so I think giving her that wisdom and understanding. Same thing with movies. Being film making community. The one first thing I did was, we watched movies and I showed her how it's not real. We watched the behind the scenes, the makeup, the acting, the stunts, the wires. So she knows that what she sees on screen is not real. And she's starting to think about, how do they make it? How would they wanna how do they do the stunts? Because she knows they don't get hurt. Sometimes they do, but in most cases, if it's a fight, they're not really hitting each other. So I think that was important, to give her that. News and AI. Well, today I actually started for the first time, thought, hey, let me build an app. So I started building an app. So my daughter has a rare disease called hypophosphatasia. And I can't believe I said that correctly. She has to have injections, super expensive injections. Thank God for insurance. 3 times a week. I think it's like $6,000 a shot or something stupid, some ridiculous thing. And she has to have it 3 times a week. And we have to track the locations of every time you get it, because you don't want to put it in, like, if Monday she does a left arm, we don't want to do the left arm again. So tracking that, there's some other app trackers and stuff for like insulin and all that type of thing. And so we kind of looked at that, and my wife has been keeping records in a notebook, writing it down. And so I thought, what if I build an app that will track those locations, tell you, you can record if there's any adverse effects or issues. I think one time she had like some kind of swelling a little bit, but it wasn't anything major. It went away. So that's what I did today. I worked on, an LLM. I went through Perplexity, I think it was. And then I went through Chat, GPT, and Claude, and just asked, how do I build an app? What are the prompts I need? Then I went to Lovable and just plugged it in. And I'll show you guys a screenshot of what I'm building. It's not done yet, so still kind of working on it. But I'm like, I'm not a coder. I don't code. I can talk. That's it. So I'm pretty surprised on how well this came out. Right now it's a website. I'm trying to make it into an app eventually. I tried Figma. They have an AI thing now, and that needs to be refined the way it was laying out some information. So I'll try to redo that and just see what happens. And so, but in the world of AI, the US government is shifting from cautious AI regulation to an aggressive industrial strategy, prioritizing speed and scale over safety. There's someone who left a message about AI having guns and weapons. Well, here we go. Now we're going into that because safety is not a priority. And there were articles written by the head of different LLMs about being cautious of safety, making sure that we put some safety protocols in place before this gets out of hand. It's going to get out of hand. We're getting to that world of AI is going to be its own entity, and then it's going to be able to shut it down, maybe able to hack you, yada, yada, yada. So not a very good thing, but we're getting to that point. Our affirmation today is, my effort today will build the future I desire. So regardless of your past, regardless of your failures, regardless of things that have happened to you, you can, every day, you take that step, think about what is the future that you desire and how can you get there. I'm trying to do that. I've failed many times. And the last post was failing an interview. It's like you just keep pushing forward, get back up. So that is the wrap up today. Workout went good. Try out those twists. I don't see a lot of people doing that. I see tricep push down, but if you start in this angle and you do that twist, that horseshoe is going to pop. So give that a try. Leave a comment. Let me know what's going on. Tell me if you need help with anything, how I can encourage you. What do you want me to talk about? Give me some ideas. But for the most part, we're going to do what we can do and give that a try.